attractive woman is very seductive for some men. I do think that that's a trap.
But I think there's a lot of guys that would just take a piece of ass when they can get it.
And they'd hurt the great, beautiful, attractive woman to
No,
access.
I mean, there is no more valuable commodity in our culture than an attractive female.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of guys just like to get laid.
Well, I've also found that a lot of attractive women aren't necessarily great at sex. We believe that the hotter the woman is, the hotter she's going to be in bed, the better she's going to be in bed. That's not necessarily true at all. And in fact, that's one way that less attractive women can potentially
a man in a regular way. And as a young girl, you have the option of going through heartache and attaching to a man in a regular way and him disappointing you, which is what usually the experience is when you're not materialistic. Or you go down the materialistic route where you just turn off your emotions, see men as a job and fall in love with what they offer you rather than who they are. And if it doesn't work out, no problem, you've got another one. And you keep yourself kind of pain-free in that way. So
yeah, cool. So the woman that's only a gold digger, she will win in the short term because she'll be making money and living a great lifestyle. But in the long term, does she actually win though? Okay. Does the gold digger actually win? So all you boys that are like so resentful because it's really easy for a woman to be a gold digger, don't be jealous of these people. Don't be envious. Don't be resentful that they can get and obtain the opposite sex easier than you can, because guess what? By the time they're 60, 70, they've lost the game. Before the time they're 40 and 50, what have they got? They haven't got a strong family unit. They haven't got a husband that loves. So yeah, they can run around abusing and neglecting men their whole lives, but in the end, who's really going to have the last laugh, okay?
So I think social media doesn't help in that way, and the entitlement is just growing and growing to the point where even somebody like me, I find that if you're a woman and you don't give advice from the perspective of a gold digger or an escort, you will get...
And I don't have a problem with women that are gold diggers. To find a man attractive because he is able to procure more resources isn't some sort of immoral thing. Here's the thing though, I have a problem who are only gold diggers, who are only searching for a man that has money. That's where the problem is. If you're only searching for a man that can give you money and material things, it will never lead to a great relationship. It's a flawed strategy. You need to be looking for a man that has money, but who also has those great fundamental traits that you're looking for. Ambitious, caring, kind, loving to his potential children. A pillar of the community. Yeah, but then also has money, successful, goes after what he wants, goes after his dreams. Yeah. Gold diggers who only look for a man with money are as flawed in their strategy as men who only go for looks. With both strategies, both sexes will in the long term arrive nowhere.
Endless women saying, pick me, pick me, pick me, you're a pick me. But if I was here saying, this is how you take money from a man, this is how you steal money, this is how you cheat on him, I would be revered by women. I would literally have millions of followers and they would repost me all day, every day. So
yeah, you're right, initially. But your long-term results, Sadia, are better doing it this way, because guess what? You're respected by pretty much most men and most women, okay? So you can still enter high-value places. You can go to places of high-value net worths. Whereas if you were that hoe, gold digger that, where are you going? No one's checking for you. So actually, Sadia's done what a lot of men do, what a lot of smart men do, and it's delayed gratification. Because she's a hot woman, she could easily go naked on OnlyFans and make loads of money. But I think she has realised, because she's of a higher IQ, clearly, that if she plays this game, the long-term rewards are going to be far greater.
The fact that the female audience is hungry for that sugar baby escort woman teaching you how to get men shows what's happened to society and to women in general.
I think that's always been the case, though. I might be a little bit more cynical. Yeah. Like, you can go on Seeking Arrangements, right? The sugaring site. And there it runs the spectrum. There are women there who are just straight up prostitutes and they're selling sex for money. But there's also, on the other side, women who say, I just want a traditional relationship. I want to be taken care of. I'll clean, I'll cook, and I'll be your wife.
Yeah, I don't know how many high value men are going to seek arrangements though, Ryan.
So I think that traditional housewifery is on the same sugaring spectrum as prostitution. It's just a little bit more classy.
Right.
But I still think that these tactics
Traits.
about like how to get money from a man, how to get his attention, how to take him for all he's worth, like grandmothers were teaching their
Look, I don't have a problem with those strategies and learning the strategies, how to get a man, how to make a man, enjoy you, rah, rah, rah. But the problem with it, just like the red pillars, is their solution is wrong. What they're doing with the information that they're getting in terms of how to get a high value man, how to please him, rah, 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 that is all correct. But what they're doing with that information ultimately is wrong, because all they're going to do is take the money and run. Whereas if they had the mindset of, how do I attain that man, keep him happy, raise a long-term family, great, their life would be for the better. But in this generation where we can't even watch a video for more than 5 seconds, I'm looking at you, TikTok, women and men, both, they do not delay gratification anymore. Both sexes do not delay gratification. But here's the thing. Men are almost forced into delaying gratification to get what they want. Whereas for a woman, you can just be pretty, just be sexy, and not delay your gratification by gaining those great women traits like being feminine, being loving, caring, developing your character, etc., and still get away with it. So women are in a position where they do not have to delay their gratifications, because there's so many simpy pelele men out there anyway that they can go through their life being perpetually immature, foolish, redundant, and without looking at what the possibilities for their consequences will do for their long-term future. Men, to get anywhere in life, they always have to be thinking about the future. It's the only way. But for women, they can get yacht parties, get a rich man now, boom, 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 get these short-term results and get away with it in the short term only. Whereas men, they will never get a woman without long-term results. So in a way, the choice that women have in terms of going for a short-term goal digging strategy and then going for a long-term strategy where they settle down with a man that they love and emotionally bonding, rah, 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 the fact that they have the choice is actually detrimental to them. In this society that we have today, hoy en día, nowadays, the propaganda is that choice is a good thing. Who the hell told you that? The elites. Choice is often a bad thing, because then you get stuck with option paralysis. I went down to America, California, in November, and we went shopping to get some supplies and things like that. And oh my God, the amount of Tropicana that they have. Tropicana vitamins, Tropicana of this flavor, Tropicana of grape, Tropicana. There was 30 options of Tropicana. We're in England, there's literally only 2. Tropicana smooth, Tropicana non-smooth. And then sometimes you might get Tropicana tropical, different flavors, but 90% of the time it's 2 flavors. And then I went to the milk section. Oh my God, it's like a whole aisle just for milk. And I think it was Kmart or Target. We were in Target. And there was a whole aisle, 20 feet long, 30 feet long aisle, just of different types of milk. And it's how do I choose which one that I want? Where in England, it's just okay, semi-skimmed, skimmed, or whole milk. 1 out of 3 choices, boom, let's go. So women having this choice is actually detrimental to them, because the short-term option seems so sweet. Just the same way the Garden of Eden, the snake sounded sweet, because the short term always sounds sweet by definition. But I tell you what, ladies and gents, the more you strategize with the long term in all that you do, the more you'll win. In pretty much every situation where there's a long term and a short term option, the short term will always F you over in the near future. Whereas the long term option will give you blessing upon blessing upon blessing in the long term future, often in perpetuity. But too often, because we are so emotionally weak to wait things out these days, because we can't even watch a 20-minute video on YouTube. We're going to do scroll, 6 seconds TikTok video, scroll, 2 seconds, scroll, then switch to Instagram, scroll, switch to Snapchat, scroll, switch to YouTube Shorts, scroll, always scroll, then back to TikTok again because you're bored again, scroll, change profile to get a different feed, scroll. 6. We cannot wait for the things that we want no more. We are lazy in that way now as a generation. So that's why often people, including women in this case, are going for the short-term results, because they're too ADHD, let's say, to wait it out. But it actually is a good thing for those who can wait it out, because now that there's less people playing the strategy of long-term validation and delaying gratification, it's now actually easier to win. That's the positive. If you do play by the correct rules, it's now far easier to win than ever, because everyone's so deluded, everyone's so in their own bubble of this propaganda in the matrix that they're doing all the wrong things. But if you put your head down and make all the right decisions, wait it out, long-term gratification, delaying gratification, boom, wait, patience, paciencia, discipline. It's so easy to beat everyone else, because there's so few people doing those things that, oh my God, you can just walk in the door and just blaze them down. You come through making all the right moves, winning, achieving, going after your dreams, putting 6 hours into your side hustle, putting 12 hours into side hustle, waking up 4 a.m. in the morning, going to bed at 12 a.m. at night. You do that for 5 years, 10 years, I'm guaranteeing pretty much you will be successful. Because everyone else pretty much isn't doing those successful moves. They're all doing these short-term strategies, just going for the man, taking his money, going free dinner, instead of weighing it out, going for a real man, successful man, building, going, growing, boom. And by you're 60, you've won life. Never have to work again, got a family that loves you, got a great relationship, got kids that love you, that take care of you, that will want to see you when you're old. Whereas those women there that are going to Dubai, taking that free money, well, not free money, but taking that morally and ethically robbing money, they're taking that, where will they be in 50 years? Where will they be? Nowhere. They'll be in the gutter, metaphorically speaking. Well, actually, you know what? Metaphorically and physically, these girls will be in the gutter. So never feel resentful. Never.